Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of the Mama Elephant May 15th release. This is Rena. I hope you're doing well and enjoying the release so far. We have a fun story and booked themed release this month. Remember to leave a comment for a chance to win a prize from Mama Elephant. First up is Book Club, and this set includes 7 different little critters, so cute, and I really like the sentiments on this one. Have a novel birthday, hope this year is one for the books, and my favorite is you are literally the best. Love that. My favorite image is the elephant on the pillows because he looks so cozy. Here's a look at the coordinating dies for Book Club. Next up is Turn the Page Creative Cuts, and it cuts out a nicely sized book. It is very close to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sizing. We'll be using this die today to make some shaped cards. We are going to first start out with coloring in the images. I have stamped it out on the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock using the Memento Rich Cocoa ink. This set was illustrated by Ada Zamora, and for some reason I just really like using watercolor for the Ada Zamora images. And I used Memento Rich Cocoa ink because I like stamping them out in brown. I think it's because they're animals, and I think it just looks like a little bit more natural when you use the brown ink. I am using the Zig Real Clean Color brush markers to color in these images. These are super easy to use. I like to lay down the color, and I like to work fast too. Lay down the color and then take my water brush pen and then just kind of drag out the color, and you can mostly get away with using one marker and blending it out, and it creates such a nice gradient. I'll put the list of Copic markers down below. For the bunny, I started off with a base of 203 Shadow Pink, and then the color was very light, so I used 072 Beige to add some shadows. I also don't fill my water brush pen with water because for some reason I'm afraid of using too much water, so I just leave it empty, and I have water on the side in a container, and I kind of dip it in there when I need water. But you do need enough water to be able to drag out the pigment. So one of the things that I have to absolutely do, and is so important, is to swatch all the things that you have so you know what colors you have. So I had gotten some new colors of the Zigs, and I had never swatched it, so I've just been looking at the marker caps and just trying to do it that way. But the marker caps, to me, they're not really representative of the color, so I had swatched everything, and I had to hand write everything because my printer doesn't work right now. So I had to handwrite all of my swatch sheets, and I did all the swatches, but it's so helpful. And it helps me color too because I see, what the marker is, what the cap color is, and, what it actually looks like. And you always have to use the paper that you would, typically use to color with it. So I did use the Bristol Smooth cardstock to do my swatches. So I had to actually Google what this animal was because I knew it was either an alligator or a crocodile, which prompted, is there a difference between crocodiles and alligators? And apparently there is. So in my professional opinion, I believe we are coloring a crocodile because I think one of the differences it said is some of them are fresh, one is freshwater, one is seawater or saltwater, and one of them has a narrow snout and the other one has a broader snout. So I do believe we are coloring a crocodile, and he is so adorable. So I held off on coloring in the books and the different other smaller images within the big image because I didn't know what color I wanted it. I ended up deciding to keep everything neutral, and all of the white parts of the lighter parts of the animals, I decided to add just a little bit of a warm tone to. So I did add a tiny bit of 069 blush, um, just to color in those areas with like a tiny bit of shadow, just so it had a little bit of color on it. And for the books, I decided to use 603 Mocha Brown. It's kind of a weird color. It's called Mocha Brown, but when you blend it out, it has a little bit of like a purpley brown tone to it. It's really pretty. So sometimes I use a lot of water and it warps the paper a little bit, the bristle smooth cardstock. So I like to cut out the die cuts again in the Nina 110 paper, and I like to take that colored piece of bristle smooth cardstock and just adhere it to the Nina 110 paper, just so my die cut is nice and flat and nice and thick too, to match the paper that I'm adhering it to. So the Turn the Page Creative Cut set has two larger pieces. The large piece is the book cover, and right now we're stamping out the sentiment on the book page. It also comes with two littler pages that have some text on it, and it's meant to look like a block of text. So I decided to use that on the left side, and on the right side I wanted to make like a little image and then stamp a sentiment using tomorrow's stamp set, Storybook Sayings. I totally confused myself this release because there's two sentiment sets, and I wanted to feature it on these die cuts, but then I forgot that this stamp set book club does have sentiments with it, and I should have used those, but I completely forgot and I completely spaced. So I used tomorrow's stamp set for today. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I believe I used it because I wanted longer sentiments, so it looks like text in a book. So we're making 3 different cards today, and I'm just using various sentiments from tomorrow's stamp set, Storybook Sayings, to pair up with the book club images today. I know my brain is melting. So we're just going to continue to stamp out the sentiments with the images. I like to lay out the images just so I know exactly where I want the sentiments to be for placement. I would normally stamp all of my sentiments first, and then I would roll into adhering all of the images. But since I had everything laid out already, I went ahead and adhered all my images right after I stamped out the sentiment. I had a lot of images and I didn't want to like mix them up. So I'm like, oh, while I have it laid out, I'll just go ahead and adhere it. So we'll be making 3 shaped cards. And so this first one, I'm showing you the pieces that I'm using. I cut out 2 of the book covers. That's the largest piece. And this piece here, I'm considering the book page. And that's where we stamped out our sentiment and adhered our images on. And so now I'm just going to give it a little score because I want these to look like pages. And then I'm going to just kind of fold it, not all the way, but just a little bit, just so it looks like it's open. Then I'll just put glue on the spine of that page and adhere it to the book cover. I decided to use a colored piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to lift the two sides, and then I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided foam adhesive to adhere those pages down, just so there's like a little bit of dimension and it looks like the book is opening. So that'll be the front of the card. Now we're going to make the shaped card. So I've cut out another one of the larger pieces, the book cover piece, and I'm giving it a little score at the top. I just want to create a place where I can put some glue to adhere it to the card front. So I'll adhere that to the card front, and when you open it up, it's a shaped card that's in a shape of a book. So I'm just going to make the other two. Now that I know what the process is, I'm just going to do it super quick. So I would take the card front with the images on, I would do a little score and kind of fold it a little bit, but not all the way. And then I'll be putting glue on the spine, and that's how I'll be adhering that page to the cover. And then I will do some double-sided foam adhesive on the left and right side just so it pops a bit. Then I'll take the book cover piece, do a little score and fold so I have somewhere to put adhesive, and then I will put glue on that and adhere the card front to that to make the shaped card. And this shape card is also able to stand up on its own as well, which I love. And that is it. I'm calling these cards done. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day. Stay safe, happy crafting, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.